Good evening, and welcome to our restore and reset, or reset and restore. It's R&R, however you would like to phrase it. Welcome, welcome. So I hope that you are meeting the end of the month as gracefully as you possibly can. And yes, enjoy this evening's practice. We're actually going to start standing. So when you're ready, please just take a loose stance in your legs, and we're going to do a little check-in with the head and the neck. So with full attention, just very gently and carefully articulating the joints in the neck and noticing how that has shown up for you on your mat, paying attention to any spots that feel a bit congested or tight. Feeling into the jaw, opening and closing the mouth, giving the jaw a little bit of a wiggle and feeling into the tongue. Good, and we're ready for our little accompaniment of maneuvers and kriyas. We're starting off with the good old 3-phase maneuver. Can't go wrong. Make a fist with your left hand, please, and pop that underneath your chin. Anchor the chin down whilst you're lifting the collarbones up brightly, and take your right hand and just cradle the occiput, that lovely primary curve where the skull inserts itself onto the spine, and keeping your shoulders relaxed and your breath moving. Hold this, pushing your chin down, lifting your collarbones up, and now push your head against the contact of your right hand. It's as though you're trying to retract the skull, like you're trying to take the skull up and back toward the back corner of the ceiling. And hold, and gently relax the arms. Moving straight into silent scream now. Make a fist with your right hand and pop that underneath the chin. The right fist is driving up as the chin anchors down. And now holding that, please open your mouth as wide as you can and keep the breath moving. So keep that right fist moving up, the chin driving down to meet the fist, and your mouth as wide open as you can, whilst you continue to allow the breath to move. And hold, and hold, and hold, and gently release. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a shrug. Good. As we move now into our tongue circles, please establish a gazing point just somewhere in front of you that's not going to move. It's really important that your skull and your body is quite still for the next few moments. Shoulders relaxed, keep your eyes steady, and now draw some slow circles with the tip of your tongue along the insides of your lips. We're going to take 10 slow circles one way, keeping the eyes steady. Good, and just counting your 10 slow circles one direction. And then taking another 10 slow circles in the opposite direction. If you have any vulnerabilities in your neck, you might notice that this is a bit challenging. Please persevere as long as there's no strain or tension. And when you have completed your 20 tongue circles in total, again, just give the shoulders a shrug to reset. Good. And now once more, please gently feel into your neck. You might notice that there's a little bit of a difference, maybe a lot of a difference, or maybe you don't notice anything at all. We're trusting the process regardless of what we can actively sense. Good. And when you're ready, please come to arrive in a cross-legged seat just on your mat. It is very useful to elevate the pelvis with a block or 2 blocks, just to encourage the knees to come a little bit closer to the floor. And just so that we're starting off on the same note together, please bring your right shin in front of your left. Invitation here is to close down the eyes if you're comfortable, or you can leave the eyes open, but keep the eye gaze still. Keep the eye gaze soft. Invite your tongue to come to rest against the ceiling of your mouth. A useful visual is that of two spoons sitting up against one another. Such is the relationship between the tongue and the hard palate. And come to meet your breath. Moving your breath slowly and smoothly in and out through the nose. And allowing a portion of your awareness to just reside gently within the channels of the nostrils as you connect with the movement of the air. Gently sensing into the rise and fall of the rib cage, the swelling and softening of the belly. Relaxing a little bit more through the face, through the shoulders. And giving yourself permission to arrive. We'll take a few rounds of our reset breath together. Please exhale as completely as you can. Take a big inhale through your nose. Hold on to that, top it up with a second nasal inhale. And now exhale through pursed lips. As slowly as you can, like you're blowing the exhale out through a straw. Again, big nasal inhale once. Second top up inhale. Out slowly through your pursed lips now. How slowly can you exhale? And again, big nasal inhale. Second top up nasal inhale. And out slowly through the mouth. When you're ready, you might like to take a few extra rounds of your reset breath, but otherwise bring your tongue back to rest against the palate and drop back down into a smooth nasal inhale. Rib cage and belly moving freely. Allow your palms to meet one another in front of your heart and rub the palms of your hands together quite vigorously. This coordinated bilateral movement of the limbs is a very useful tool to calm and balance the activity between the left and right sides of the brain. It's also a lovely vagal maneuver in and of itself, and you might sense that lovely warmth behind the hands. If you're wearing glasses, just pop them gently down close by. And now, when you're ready, please press your warm palms gently over your closed eyes. This initiates the ocular cardiac reflex, lowering the heart rate, the blood pressure, and signaling the body to relax. Blinking your eyes open gently into that semi-darkness behind the hands now. And as you bring your hands back down to your lap, just invite your attention to really gently redisperse back into the space. And now please change the cross of your legs, bringing left shin in front of the right. On an inhale, we're lifting the arms above the head, palms meet, stay here. Exhale, turn the palms to face the sky, keep the eye gaze up. On an inhale, lean your heart back, little baby back bend. And as you exhale, drop chin to chest, let the tailbone curl under and find a rounded position in the spine. On the next inhale, reach the interlace of your hands back toward the ceiling. Exhale, right fingers find the floor as you reach the left arm actively over, finding a side bend to your right. Inhale back through center, palms meet. You might lift the eye gaze. And as you exhale, left fingertips find the earth, reaching actively through your right arm. Let the next inhale bring you back through center, palms meet, maybe looking up. And as you exhale, find a twist to the right, gazing gently down in the direction of your right shoulder. The next inhale brings us back through center. Stay active through the arms, but not uptight through the shoulders. And exhale, land your twist to the left. Inhale back through center, gazing up. And as you exhale, swim the arms back behind you. Find an interlace of hands and fingers behind your back and draw the shoulder blades together, puffing the chest out super wide as you lift the arms away from the earth. And maybe just keep the eye gaze slightly down so that you can focus into the chest, into the shoulders. Gently relinquish that grip of your hands and let the hands come back to rest in your lap for a moment, just receiving that sequence before we move into it. Again, as you inhale, pick up the arms, palms meet. Stay here, find an interlace of hands and fingers. Exhale, press palms skyward, gazing up. Inhale, lean the heart back, reach the chest forward, gaze up. And as you exhale, drop chin to chest, press the palms forward and let the spine round, maybe even curl that tailbone under. Inhale, take the arms back toward the ceiling, gazing up. And as you exhale, find a side bend to the right. Right fingertips land, and we're going to hold it here for this round. Can you actively root your left sit bone down into the earth or into the block? And think about lifting the collarbones a little bit higher and spinning the chest toward the ceiling. Strong line from that left hip crease out through the fingers of your lifted left hand. On an exhale, find a little bit more of a side bend if it's there. And then let the next inhale bring you back through center, palms meet above the head, maybe looking up. And exhale, left hand finds the earth, reaching the right arm over actively. Just drop the chin, angle the right cheekbone toward the right bicep. And now find that deliberate drop of your right sit bone down. Float the collarbones a bit higher and rotate, spin the heart toward the ceiling. Strong line from the right hip out through the fingers of the right hand. Maybe find a little bit more space on an exhale. And then rise on an inhale, palms meet one another, gaze up. Exhale with twisting to the right, landing here for a few rounds of breath as you angle your eye gaze just gently down toward the right shoulder, using the back of the left hand as an anchor point to create a little bit of internal rotation. Inhale, release the head. Exhale, release the chest and shoulders. And now on an inhale, reach the arms above the head again. Exhale, find your twist to the left, hooking the outside of the right hand to the outside of the left leg, angling the eye gaze slightly down toward the left shoulder. Keeping the heart lifting brightly and creating a relationship between the back of your right hand and the outside of the left leg that helps you create some of that internal leverage. On an inhale, release just the head. And as you exhale, release the chest and shoulders, popping the block out from underneath your sit bones, if that's where it is, and coming to land in Virasana, hero's pose. Now, Virasana is made infinitely more accessible with the use of 1, 2, 3, 17 blocks, however many blocks you need. Place them between your ankle bones and then nestle your sit bones down nicely onto that platform. If you don't need the block, good for you. But the block does make it that much more accessible. And now when you're ready, we're taking the arms out in front of us, crossing the right elbow over the top of the left and bringing the back of the forearms to touch. Your left hand rather, might be able to access and take hold of your right thumb if you have the proportions that allow that. If you've taken hold of the thumb, please use your left hand to tug the thumbnail down toward your nose tip. Keep the fingers of the right hand spreading. And now squeeze the elbows against each other as you begin to lift the elbows up toward the ceiling. You might even tip the fingers toward the front of the room or the front of the mat. And just be here with your breath. Let the shoulder blades slide away from each other. Keep the elbows gently squeezing. And now using your left hand, just guide both forearms slightly over to the right. The rest of the body stays upright. We're just taking forearms and hands, tipping over to the right. This might introduce some new sensation into the back of the right shoulder. Gently bring the hands back through center. On an inhale, unravel the arms, come to cactus, squeeze the shoulder blades together and hug the front rib cage in. Let the tailbone drop. Shoulder blades hug, fingers really spread, the hands animated. Rib cage hugging in toward the spine as the tailbone drops. You might even find a push of the tops of the feet down into the floor. And when you're ready, gently release the arms down to your side. Take a moment to rebound and receive. Present with the sensations in your arms. Smoothing out any rough edges that you encounter on either side of the breath. And taking those arms back in front of you now, this time we'll cross left elbow over the top of the right. Bring the back of the forearms to meet. Maybe the right hand can pick up that left thumb. And if you do, tug the left thumb gently down toward the nose. Keep the fingers of the left hand otherwise spread. And squeeze the elbows together as you lift them up in space. You might tip the fingers toward the front of the mat, or the arms might stay quite upright. But keep the squeeze of the elbows, the lift of the elbows, and now use your right hand to guide your forearms and fingers to the left. Keep the squeeze of the elbows against each other, the breath moving smoothly. Gently releasing the arms. And again, find cactus arms, shoulder blades hug toward the spine, fingers spread. Finding the front rib cage and just suctioning it back toward the spine, reducing any rib flare. Let the tailbone drop and find an anchor point, a push down through the tops of the feet. Now, when you're ready, very gently release and take a moment to rebound, to receive. Good. We are going to give our legs a little bit of a break now, swinging them out in front of us. And just take a few gentle windscreen wipes of your knees from side to side. Feel free to pause at any point where you feel it's relevant in your hips. Good. And now when you're ready, we're going to find a really simple 90-90 sit. So just with the left leg bent with the sole of the foot angled behind you, and the front knee doesn't have to be 90 degrees, whatever works for you. The point here is accessing some of the fascial front line. So when you're ready, we're going to land the right hand just somewhere behind the right hip. And on an inhale, sweep your left arm toward the right corner of the room. Palm of the hand turns to face the ceiling, and we spin the chest toward the sky. Now keep really lifting the heart super high, anchor down through the knees and the feet. It's nice here to keep the ankles really flexing, toes peeling up toward the shins. Think about pressing through the right hand, lifting the heart and spinning that left armpit toward the back corner of the room. Of course, keeping the breath moving, tongue against the roof of the mouth. Now, on an exhale, come out the way you moved in. So left hand sweeps toward the front right corner of the room, and then gently coming out. Stay here in your 90-90 sit. We're going to lift the ribs, take a turn to the left, and drop just the chin down and let the head feel really heavy. Stay with the breath. If your right hand has landed on the inside of your right shin, you might anchor those points against each other to find a bit more rotation of the torso, but let your head stay nice and heavy. Tongue against the roof of the mouth, breath moving. And release the head, release the twist, and then switch your 90 sit to the other direction. This time we're landing the left hand just behind the left hip. Inhaling, sweep your right hand toward the front left corner. Turn the palm to face the sky and then spin collarbones to the ceiling as you anchor through your left hand. And we're we're pushing through the left hand to help keep the heart lifting. Right armpit exposed and wide. Feeling into the fingers of that lifted right hand. Keep the chest lifting. You might find an anchor through the feet and the knees. The toes are flexing up toward the shins. Stay pushing gently through the left hand. Find a bit more rotation. Inhale. And as you exhale, sweep the right hand out the way it came, past the left corner of the mat. Back to your 90-90 sit, keeping the legs as they are. We're finding an updraft in the rib cage and gently twisting to the right. And now let your head hang, just the chest, or the chin rather, to the chest. Don't allow your chest to drop. If your left hand has found an anchor against the outside of your right shin bone, you might use those points against each other to find a little bit more leverage, but keep the head heavy and the heart lifted. Breath moving. And gently release the head. Then release the chest and shoulders and bring yourself back into Dandasana, staff pose. From here, we'll bend the knees, keeping your feet hip width apart. Line the back of your wrists up with the buttocks and lift up onto the tips of your middle fingers. Spin the palms of your hands to face the back of your mat now, dropping down onto the hands. Push down through the palms, elbows moving towards straight now as you drop the chin and just look down toward that space between your knees. Now stay here, and there's a little bit of subtlety that we're looking for. Can you plug your toes down into the mat? Can you plug your fingerprints down into the mat? Keeping your chin angled down, you might consider squeezing your elbows a little bit closer towards each other, and then finally create an internal feeling as though you're trying to drag your sit bones and your fingertips towards each other. There won't be any movement. There'll be an internal attention into the arm lines, dragging sit bones and fingertips towards each other. And then release all of that effort. Come back up onto the tips of your middle fingers and drop the back of your hands down, pressing gently through the backs of your hands. And if you want a little bit more spice, send your shoulders back behind your ears, keeping the hands anchored and the eye gaze down. Gently releasing that work in the wrists, giving the wrists maybe a little bit of a flick here as we make our way to all fours. From all fours, we're setting up for a very gentle pigeon. So please don't assume that this is the pigeon that you think you know. We're sliding the left knee the right knee toward the back of the right wrist, and then just transplant that right foot to the midline of the mat. So we're not seeking a parallel shin with the top edge of the mat at all. And now creep that left leg back. I like to think about bringing my pubic bone and my heel bone into contact. You can just think about that. It doesn't have to happen. And if you'd like some support, the block can land underneath the right hip. From here, we are refining by pushing down into the top of the left foot. Feel the left knee lift up off the mat. Roll your left hip bone closer to the earth, and now let your pelvis sink and settle, pubic bone to heel. Maybe creep the left leg back a bit further and look up and over your right shoulder. Keeping the breath moving, the tongue against the roof of the mouth. Again, push the left foot down until the knee lifts up. Wrap the left hip bone in toward the right heel bone. Let the pelvis sink and settle. Maybe creep that left leg back a bit more and look a little bit further over your right shoulder. One more time. Left foot pushes down. The kneecap floats. Wrap the left hip bone down. Let the pelvis sink and feel heavy. Looking up and over the right shoulder a fraction further. Release just the head back to center. And now drop down onto your elbows and forearms. You might feel called to take yourself quite flat in more of a traditional pigeon pose. And if you're up on your elbows, please consider interlacing hands and fingers and allowing your skull to just come to rest in your hands. So we surrender all gripping in the neck and the mid-back. If there's any other variation of the shape that you feel called to take, please move into that slowly and carefully for the last few breaths. If you've crept out quite flat and low to the earth, start making a move now to bring yourself a little bit more upright, landing the hands, pressing through the hands. Use the arms to support the weight of the torso as you rise into a little bit of a cobra shape, lifting the chin toward the sky. Release the head. If there's a block underneath your right sit bone, please move that now. And for our transition, we're just going to drop the weight onto the right hip and then take the left leg out long. So we've arrived in a wide Janu Shirshasana setup here. Toes of the left foot pointing straight up to the ceiling. We're plugging the back of the left hand actively against the inseam of the left leg, and the right hand is going to find the nape of the neck, that space between the back hairline and the neck itself. And think about using your right hand to actually pull and gently traction through the neck as you hug the right elbow in toward the temple, feeling that there's lots of nice freedom there in that right shoulder head. Inhale, pick the right elbow point up nice and high, and exhale, spiral the chest toward the ceiling using the back of your left hand as your anchor point. And just arrive here. Be here and breathe, sending that attention into the right side body, right rib cage, right armpit chest. Prioritizing the plug of the left hand against the left leg, the lifting of the right elbow and armpit, and spinning the chest toward the sky. With your awareness in your right lung, on an inhale, lift yourself gently out from the side bend. Exhale, right hand finds the floor just behind the right sit bone. And we're inhaling, lifting up onto the sole of the left foot as you sweep that left arm up and back in a wide arc. Baby wild thing, I believe, is what the cool yoga kids are calling this one these days. I wouldn't know. Bring your sit bones back down to the earth. Good. And now we're just crossing the left shin in front of the right. If you find a block under the sit bones is really useful in this cross-legged position, come into that again. You might even find a half lotus with the left leg if that's where you are. We'll bring the back of the right hand to hook the left knee. Back of the hand lands and we peel the fingers back to value add into that radial nerve. Left fingertips can land lightly on the earth or bring the left hand in to catch the left foot for a bind. As you inhale, pick the ribs up, sit tall, and exhale, spin just your chest to the left. We're angling the chin down toward the right shoulder. So we're creating a twist within a twist. Noticing here through the lower and middle back, we're rotating to the left. The upper back and the neck are twisting to the right. And keeping everything about this shape exactly as it is, please do not move your head. Lift just your eyes up and to the left and allow them to settle on a landmark in the room that's easy for you to see. Up and to the left. Rest the eyes there. Tongue against the roof of the mouth. Breath moving slowly and smoothly. If the eyes come out of focus, just invite them back. Try and hold them still. And releasing the eyes, release the head, release the chest and shoulders, let the rest of the spine unfurl, and drape yourself out heavily over your crossed legs. Just allowing your weight to rest in your forearms. You might again rest your head in your hands. Think about anchoring the sit bones and broadening the back of the pelvis. You might have laid down quite flat in this seated forward bend. That's fine. We're still looking to anchor the sit bones and let the rib cage and the shoulders feel nice and weighted. If you took yourself out quite flat, start to make your way back out. Landing weight in the hands. Again, press through the arms to support the weight of your torso and protect the knees as you ascend. And then again, make your way to all fours, setting up for the other side. This time sliding the left knee immediately behind the left wrist, and then just shimmy the top of that left foot across toward the midline of the mat and begin inching the right leg back. Your left hip, knee, and ankle might be calling for the support of a block underneath that sit bone. Otherwise, keep the hands in so we're quite tall for our start point, and push down through the top of your back right foot until the right knee lifts. Then roll your right hip point in toward the left heel bone. Let the pelvis drop and sink. You might creep the right leg back a little bit longer behind you. Pick your chin up and look over your left shoulder. Keeping the breath moving. Again, right foot pushes down, the right knee floats. Wrap the right hip point in and down. Let the pelvis drop and maybe inch the right leg back. Looking over the left shoulder and breathing. One more time. Right foot pushes down, right knee lifts. Wrap the right hip bone in. Let the pelvis drop. Looking over that left shoulder. And on an inhale, gently release the head. Exhale, creeping forward any amount that you like. Maybe just landing on elbows and forearms, or maybe creeping out quite flat. And if you're on elbows and forearms, please do consider or try letting your head just come to rest in your hands and dropping the effort from the neck, from the upper back. Just letting the rib cage sink. Long, smooth, velvety breaths. And if you are quite extended in this shape, starting to move gently now, landing the weight in the hands. Press through the hands, the arms support the weight of the torso to protect the front knee. If there's a block underneath that left sit bone, just pulling it out now. Otherwise, drop the weight onto the left hip, and we're swinging the right leg out for our weird Janu variation on this side. Toes of the right foot pointing straight up to the ceiling. Land the back of the right hand to the inseam of the leg, and the left hand finds the nape of the neck and gently tractions the neck. Left elbow hugs in toward the temple. Feel the left shoulder head is free. And now inhaling, pick that left elbow point up. Exhale, spin the heart toward the ceiling. We're using the back of the right hand as an anchor point, creating that internal lift and leverage. Space, breath, and attention moving into left ribs, left side body, left chest. Keep picking the left elbow up high, spinning the heart toward the ceiling. Awareness in the left lung. On an inhale, lifting yourself carefully up and out of that shape. Exhale, left hand lands just behind the sit bone. Inhale, lifting up onto left shin and reaching, swimming that right arm back behind you just to decompress into the right side body. Landing both sit bones carefully. And then swinging the right shin in front of you. We've come to land in our cross-legged position. And maybe that right leg is going to come into half lotus. Hook the back of your left hand against the outside of the right knee. Right fingertips either land very lightly on the floor or bring the right arm in to bind. Inhale, pick the ribs up, sit tall. Exhaling, we're spinning the chest to the right, but keeping the chin, the eyes, and the nose all angled down toward the left shoulder. A twist within a twist. Chest spinning to the right. Chin, nose, and eye gaze angled down and to the left. And keeping everything about this shape as it is. Please do not move your head. Lift just your eye gaze up and to the right. Finding somewhere to settle your gaze on gently. It's not a harsh gaze. Just keep the eyes still. If they come out of focus, invite them back. Long, smooth breaths. And gently releasing the eyes. Release the head. Release the chest and shoulders. Let the spine unfurl. And on an exhale, drape yourself out over your crossed legs. Maybe coming out quite flat, or maybe you're up on the elbows and forearms. Perhaps allowing the head to come to rest in the hands again. And even from here, you can creep the elbows forward. And wherever you've landed, keep your sit bones anchored down so you're nice and wide across the rear rim of the pelvis. Let the ribs and the arms and the head feel heavy. Sit bones heavy. And if you've come down quite flat, starting to make your way out, when you're ready, landing weight in the hands, find that support in the arms to lift yourself carefully out from this shape. Landing the feet and gently windscreen wiping the knees again. Good. Now we're coming into the portion of the practice where there is some breath work and a lovely shavasana. So this might be a good opportunity to reach for your jumper or long sleeve top or pair of socks and come to arrive in whatever seat suits you for your seated breath work. Now, if you prefer, you can always sit in a chair. That is absolutely, as she dives through her t-shirt, that is absolutely fine. If you want to sit in a chair, just make sure, please, that your feet are flat on the floor. Otherwise, in whatever supported upright seat you like. And you can close the eyes down here, or you can keep the eyes open, but keep your eye gaze still. And come to meet your breath. Moving your breath slowly and smoothly in and out through the nose. And allowing a portion of your awareness to rest within the channels of the nostrils. As you notice the movement of the air. Feeling a lovely free movement in your rib cage, in your belly. Surrendering everything that came before this breath. The tongue rests against the roof of the mouth. When you are ready, please begin to very sweetly and softly hug your windpipe toward the back of your throat. In exactly the same way as you would if you were fogging up a pane of glass, but keep the breath moving through the nostrils. And allowing your breath to take on the familiar tone and texture of the ujjayi. Allowing some of your attention to migrate into the left hand. And just notice the left hand resting in your lap or on your knee. The breath moving slowly through the nostrils. The smooth sound and texture of your ujjayi breath. The feeling of the tongue gently nestled against the roof of the mouth. When you are ready, very carefully pick your left hand up and place it underneath your right armpit. And just gently allow the right arm to squeeze, to hug the left hand, the left fingers. The fingers laying flat across the sides of the ribs. Notice that very subtle squeeze underneath the right armpit. There's no tension or strain. No unnecessary effort. Can you simply be with this? Smooth ujjayi breaths. Keeping the breath smooth and well distributed, not rushing the first part of the inhale or the exhale. Please follow along with me. Exhale slowly. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allow your left hand to come back to rest on your lap and your breath to return to its natural, quiet state. And take a moment here, noticing how you have arrived. Please take your time to very carefully move onto your back for your Shavasana. Of course, feeling free to prop yourself however you like. You might enjoy a bolster beneath the knees to support the lower back, a lovely eye bag over the eyes. And as you settle, just turning the palms of your hands to face the ceiling and allowing your toes to fall away from your heels, melting any tension, any gripping in the groins, in the buttocks, and allowing your buttocks to feel wide. You're staying with the breath during our Shavasana this evening, with or without your Ujjayi technique. Please begin to cultivate a cadence, a rhythm of breath where you inhale for 4 counts, hold for 5 counts, and exhale for 6 counts. 4, 5, 6. Keeping your mind anchored in the count and allowing your physical body the chance to absorb and digest. Please stay with this until the sound of my voice summons you back. And at the end of your next long exhale, let go of that pattern. Allow your breath to return to its natural, quiet state. And invite some gentle movements into your fingers and toes. Carefully rotating into your wrists and ankles. And taking whatever movements make sense next in your body, perhaps a hug of the knees to the chest or a simple stretch. Take your time to curl your way very carefully into an upright seat. And as you arrive in your seat, just remaining for a moment longer with your eyes closed, noticing how you have arrived here, giving yourself permission to completely surrender the day, giving yourself an opportunity to rest well. Float the palms to meet one another in front of your heart, or if you prefer, just rest one hand on your chest and the other against your belly. As we close our practice together with gratitude and acknowledgement, extending our thanks for the gift of this day, our lives and our health, and offering our respects and acknowledgements to one another and to the custodians of this living tradition. As always, my very sincere respect and gratitude, affection to you all. Thank you for your company this evening, this month. I hope you'll join our program next month. We've got some new offerings and changes, so check out the email. Rest well, and I will see you all the next time I'm looking at you. Okay, bye.